So, in this episode of Sauna Talk, I am joined benchside with Josh Leddy of Get Sweaty with Leddy and sauna builder Leif Kjorness of Excelsior Saunas. And we get into some good stuff. A wide-ranging conversation recorded after multiple sauna rounds and lake ice hole plunges into Lake Ann outside of Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. What unfolds is more than a discussion about sauna. We have a wide-ranging conversation with topics like craftsmanship, friendship, healing, community, and the ways sauna culture continues to evolve while still holding on to its roots. Josh shares how his lifelong connection to sauna inspired him to launch Get Sweaty with Leddy, a YouTube channel and podcast focusing on natural healing, pain management, and meaningful conversations that happen best on the sauna bench. He talks about his upcoming mobile sauna project, immersive wellness gatherings through movement and music, and why sauna creates an environment where people truly connect. Leif reflects on his path from custom home building into the sauna world and how building saunas became more than construction work. It became a calling. He discusses craftsmanship, slowing life down, and the fulfillment that comes from creating spaces where people gather, reflect, and connect. The conversation also explores the party sauna concept, including panoramic windows, skylights, ventilation, and mobile saunas designed for memorable shared experiences. So throughout this episode, I share stories from the early days of Sauna Times, the origins of sauna days on Lake Superior's North Shore, and formative sauna experiences hitchhiking through Finland and Sweden. And together, we three discuss mobile sauna culture in Minnesota, hot-cold contrast therapy, nature cold plunges versus manufactured tubs, and the emotional reset that happens around heat, steam, cold water, and conversation. There are moments of humor, reflection, and philosophy woven throughout, from cutting fresh ice holes by hand to discussions about social media fatigue, authentic community, and finding your own operating system for life. I close by sharing my personal framework that grounds me today: freedom supported through enoughness, nature, and simplicity. This episode captures what sauna culture is really about at its best: generosity, vulnerability, camaraderie, and the profound experience of being fully present together. Love these guys and can't wait to get down to this episode with you on the bench with Josh Leddy and Leif Kjorness. A funny story. The Sauna Times Substack came about around 2018, 2019 maybe, when my MailChimp list outgrew the free plan. And the last thing I wanted with a side gig was another monthly cost just to send out a newsletter once in a while. So somewhere along the way I stumbled onto Substack, and I'm pretty sure it was from Seth Godin or Derek Sivers. Whoever it was, I owe them a beer between sauna rounds because I've been at it ever since. I publish monthly and what I call anchor reporting, a clean, once-a-month summary of all the shenanigans happening in my sauna life and across the wider ecosystem. And that includes building and design insights, guest posts from like-minded thermal enthusiasts, sauna events and field reports, reflections on sauna culture. We have the sauna circuits that are launching at least one, if not two a month. Practical takeaways you can actually use with all of this stuff. It's drawn from decades of building, bathing, observing, and paying attention to this thing we all share that's certainly older than most all of us combined, probably. So if you subscribe, that's what you'll get. And if you want to go deeper, there's a paid option where I share more in-depth writing, behind-the-scenes insights, and where Sauna Times is headed. You can find it at saunatimes.substack.com. If sauna means something to you, you'll feel right at home there. Hey, guys. How are we doing? Huh? Live TV. I don't think I've ever started recording just when I walk in, but there's no better time.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
How are you, Josh?
Good to see you.
Good to see you,
Good to see you, Leif.
Yeah.
So,
Come on up.
So for guests watching, or no, nobody's watching, right? This is low tech compared to your podcast.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
That's great.
Right?
Yeah.
All I have is this. And for those listening, a quick introduction to my right.
You got Josh Leddy here. I'm a man of many talents. No, I'm kidding. But I'm owner, founder of Back Channel Brewing in Spring Park, Minnesota, right on Lake Minnetonka, where we've done a number of really cool sauna events. It's actually where I met Glenn in the sauna.
And your podcast
in this very sauna that we're in right now.
Yeah.
With I don't want to steal your introduction thunder, but
No.
the man that built the sauna is on the other side of Glenn.
Yeah.
And
Great.
I have to connect me a little bit more with the sauna world, I have a YouTube channel / podcast called Get Sweaty with Leddy, where I interview people in, well, this sauna that we're sitting in, but then soon to be the sauna that Leif is finishing up here for me. So I'm really excited about all that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And to my left is?
Leif Kjorness with Excelsior Saunas. Been a part of this. Glenn is kind of the one who brought me into the sauna world. And so to say, this started at the Saves Project in 2020, right, Glenn? And through this whole network has brought me into the wellness scene, which has been just a phenomenal experience of my life, giving me opportunities to meet people like Josh, spend time with Glenn, and it's brought us all real close through some good times, some bad times, and we just keep triumphing. And I'm super honored to be building a sauna for Josh and Get Sweaty with Leddy, which is going to be exciting.
And I've been in tons of saunas. Like, I don't know, people ask me. I mean, I literally hundreds of saunas now, and I try not to keep score. But I love this sauna. Every sauna has its own soul, and I would have to say, Leif, one of the characteristics that I note about your build specifically is the word that comes to mind is generous. Like, this is a generous space in the literal sense, right? It's for lard asses.
Room to move around.
Yeah. I mean,
One might call it the party sauna. I like to refer to it as. You get a bunch of people in here, have a really good time.
Yeah. It's just such a great. And the air in here feels so fresh, so wonderful. And I guess I'll stay with you on this one, Leif. Tell us. Now you got this great window, and you probably know the dimensions right off the side of your head. So what is the dimensions of this window in your hot room?
This is 3 foot by 5 foot, so 36 by 60 inches. And to tail on that, we did a little bit bigger. Josh's build is going to be very similar to this. We've added some really sweet extras, I'll call it, to his build. We have 2 skylights, one in the hot room with a 3x4 skylight, and a 4x4 skylight in the changing room.
Fantastic.
And his unit has a 3 foot by 6 foot picture window.
And this picture window is taking us over Lake Ann.
Lake Ann, yep.
In Chanhassen, Minnesota.
Yep.
And I like to get, when I do podcasts, and you can relate to this one, Josh, I like to clear my head a little bit before.
Yeah.
And so on this one, I came a little early, and I did a cross-country ski around the lake here, had a little chill moment with nature.
I love that.
And I always listen to nature. There's so much to learn from nature, and we let it, if we calm ourselves down. And I got to thinking, this is the world according to Glenn, but it does tie right back to you two lads here, is I came here to ski in advance of this wonderful podcast and sit down, and mostly the sauna session, just this kindred moment that we'll have together, and we get to share, with listeners and stuff. But okay, so my skis are, I don't know how old, 25 years old. These are classic cross country skis. Yeah, and my pullover is at least 25 years old or whatever, and I have a 612 Sauna Society hat. And I realized I was wearing that same pullover exactly 10 years ago. I mean, to the week, when I was skiing over to JP's house to lead a collection of volunteers to build the 612 Sauna Society sauna that is now 10 years old. That will be 10 years old within a week of launching this podcast. And I got to thinking about serendipity and how far we've come in 10 years in the world of mobile sauna, number one. But just in this ecosystem, for lack of a better word,
Yep.
and how cool people and rising tide lifts many boats. And I thought I'd just throw this back at you guys. 10 years ago, did you think you'd be sitting on a sauna bench here in Lake Ann? And what does that journey mean to you, Josh?
Oh man, no, I didn't. 10 years ago, I was definitely sitting in a sauna. I can credit Lifetime Fitness for really sustaining my sauna love with the accessibility that I had around the area. I haven't been a member in like 10 years, so it was a fear of mine leaving Lifetime. Like, where am I going to get this sauna? Where am I going to get my sauna in, right? And that's when I was first really introduced into the mobile game from like Cedar and Stone when I met Justin on a happenstance beer trip to Asheville, North Carolina, and that was really big for me. So to be here right now, to be connected with the people I am in the sauna world, and to be on the cusp of doing the things that I'm going to be doing in the sauna world, I'm just so grateful for that opportunity, and it really is a passion for me. So to be able to realize this passion by sitting in this sauna, listening to you, Glenn, I started listening to you in my garage last year before I started my own podcast, because I had to. You got to get. And I don't even listen to other podcasts, but I had to listen to yours because you're the guy that paved the way. So,
the sauna
I'm shoulder to shoulder right now with the sauna father.
The sauna father, exactly.
Right. Well, I've been on your podcast, Josh. It was wonderful, and I love the continuity that you have about pain management, and staying with you on that one. Is that a vein that connects you to your guests, or is it a subset to sauna specifically?
It's actually, sauna is simply the medium at which to share the stories of others who are succeeding in managing themselves naturally, and essentially providing a roadmap for others to heal naturally, to avoid the cyclical trap of doctor visits, prescriptions, and surgery.
Yeah.
So pain really is the focus of it, but I can relate to people better in the sauna.
Can't we all?
You're not sitting behind a desk or sitting in another space just to make it convenient from a screen. It takes the effort on the guest part to actually come over here, and we can bond not only on pain, but then we bond with the communal aspect that is the sauna, and that's just Fantastic.
And Leif, you and I connected. You alluded to John Sabis' sauna, and that there's two. John's been on the podcast twice, and that's a seminal sauna right there on the shores of Lake Minnetonka. And there is a connectivity back to you, Josh, on Lake Minnetonka, but we'll get to that if it's appropriate. But Leif, sauna building became a bug for you, and do you want to carry us just quickly through that and then the vein that opened up through maybe Austin, or
absolutely. To start it, 10 years ago, I didn't know too much about saunas. Of course, we experienced them just here and there. When I came to the Savers Project in 2020, I really had this opening in my life where I was like, I think what really settled into me with the sauna was getting in here and slowing down time and really absorbing the community, the camaraderie that you have with people in the sauna. The people we've met through this, Glenn, has, again, I still recall when we were building that sauna over there and the triumphs that we actually had to go through on that. To be honest, there was...
And satisfying the builder, or satisfying the homeowner, John.
Yeah, right. Satisfying the man who knows what he wants and and believes in what you say. Wants follow through. And
and who's writing a big check and demands results.
Yeah, right. And,
he kicked all of our ass, didn't he?
And through my home building profession, I got to that sauna and I was like, you know what, man, I could build these damn things on my own. This is like, less is more for me. And again,
so you gave up a contracting career.
Yep.
Or no, you morphed a contract.
Yeah, I would say exactly evolved. That's the word, Josh.
So hey, staying on that, and just to corner you further, if you had to distill, like if you bumped into somebody in the elevator or whatever, and you only had eight stories to go up the elevator, what would be the top 1, 2, or 3 principles that stand out to you as a builder? I mean, how long have you been building?
My dad was a contractor, so I really was on the job at about 14, 15 years old.
Okay,
right?
so you come with some pedigree here.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
So the question there is, what would be one of the top 1, 2, 3 aspects without cornering you? These not.
Well,
have
I would
to be
say for
absolute.
sure is slowing life down, right? I
But from the build perspective.
From the build side of it is, bringing my higher end quality to the homes I was building into this sauna space and going, hey, whatever we do in these homes, whether they're $10 million or $1,000, right? We can bring the quality to them regardless of what.
Quality of build.
Quality of build.
Great. Number 2.
I would say the time that we get to reflect on ourselves, and in building something like this, it's very rewarding to see the outcome, see people's joy through it. And
the candle lighting another candle.
Exactly. And
I'm throwing a lot of words in your mouth.
Well, it's good because you articulate things that I'm feeling. So it's.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah,
I don't
for
mean
sure.
to hijack them.
No.
The elevator's almost to the top. You
Yeah,
get one more, brother.
I would have to say just the whole community aspect of meeting new people, getting to bond with people that you never, honestly probably wouldn't have crossed paths with.
Yeah. Like I joke that I can throw a stick and hit a sauna builder, which is true. My neighbor Darren across the street with the North Up and stuff, I see those North Ups parked out in front of my house and stuff, and the contagiousness of the build. And I think number 2 is worth expanding a little bit upon, where you can go do like a kitchen remodel or a bedroom addition or whatever, but there's something a little different with
which
the
they
client.
have their rewards, but I think the burnout kind of was going through my life at the time with the building industry and going, hey, this is a very big reward to me. I get to see people find themselves in sauna, and
thankful.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, speaking of which, I'm ready for a cold plunge.
Are you?
Okay.
Yeah, and you came in when we were like maxed out. First
well, this is called.
I'm wonderfully dying.
Yeah, wonderfully. Okay, you guys wonderfully go die. I'm going to just talk to myself for 15 minutes. No, I'm joking about that for listeners, but what these fine gentlemen are doing is practicing Marty's law of reverse cycling, and that's a technique that you guys can use listening to this podcast. Where if you ever find yourself on the sauna bench and you feel like, okay, when's the time to leave the hot room? Well, my buddy Clint summarizes it's when an ice cold lake plunge is about the best idea you've ever heard. And if this thing had video, you would see Leif leading Josh down the gauntlet here. Leif is barefoot, and I'd say about 20, 30 feet out are 4 orange cones. And these guys are going to cold plunge, and I'm not too far behind them. But a little nugget of technique for you is if the hot room is too noisy, too stuffy, or there's someone kind of barking next to you and you just want to chill, that's the wonderful thing, man. You can practice Marty's law of reverse cycling and get on your own pace. I love the between rounds. You got some dire straits going out there. That album, I would have to say, like 79, 81.
This is one of the best albums I've ever listened to, and I'll just tell you, this is his voice at this age, when he wrote this song here.
Wild West End.
It's just a clap. I mean, and he's just one of the best guitar players of all time.
True that. And it is good sauna music. It just kind of resonates. It kind of flows softly.
Yeah,
and, we've all had dire straits in our lives, and the journey. We're all doing good, though. You look well.
Oh yeah,
you feeling good?
Absolutely. I feel great.
Leif?
Yeah, I'm feeling real good these days.
At this time last year, I had knee pain. I was going downhill and had a ton of inflammation from this crazy knee injury from playing hockey.
Fuck, dire straits.
I'm the exact opposite right now.
Good for you.
Amazing.
Did you follow a specific? I have a right knee issue, and did you follow a specific regimen through a professional, or how? What was part of your healing journey?
I got turned. Well, I've been using these stretches from this modality called resistance, flexibility, and strength training, and my knee issue got so just troublesome, and it just didn't seem like it was going to go anywhere, that I sought out the guy that created the modality, and then I flew to Santa Barbara and was able to learn from the man himself, and I now utilize these stretches, and it just completely took my pain away.
I love that.
Even had him as a guest on my program.
That's fantastic. Good job, man. You're paying that forward through him. And my uncle, he's 96 now, and he was a rheumatologist for his career and stuff. And Julia's gone through some, headaches, a lot of migraine issues and stuff. And my uncle's got this line. He says, there are many Wizards of Oz, and the last one gets all the credit.
I love that.
You want to talk sauna days, or do you want to ask, for listeners, do you want to throw a topic or question out there?
Well, Glenn, I'd like to ask you specifically, what has brought you into the sauna world, and what inspired you mostly to kind of push you? I mean, because quite honestly, we joke and call you the sauna father and the sauna ambassador, the sauna wizard. You know, what was it family? What kind of brought you into this world?
Well, it just hit me, right? It hit me hard at an impressionable time in my life. I spent a summer, I must have been 22 years old, and my American friend John and I were hitchhiking through Europe, and it was an especially rainy, cold summer, and we found ourselves on an island in the Baltic archipelago between Sweden and Finland, and our sleeping bags were drenched, all my clothes were wet, it's mosquito bites like crazy, and what a great place to discover sauna.
Right.
And so it took that extreme of climate and discomfort, and we built we were doing construction. We rebuilt an old cabin on an island, and every night we'd knock off work and head off to Tomei's other uncle's island, and that's where the wood burning sauna was.
Yeah.
And we'd pull in perch and flounder from the sea, and these guys liked their vodka and their beer, and no problem for us with that product, and peeling potatoes and having meals and conversation well into the night with that sauna glow. It just took that level of extreme climate and beauty and nature for me to just hit me deep and hard, and I said, this is always going to be part of my life, a big part, as it turns out.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
How's that? Did I get that?
I love that. Yeah. I was always curious because truly you were my inspiration to get into this and on that build, right?
Yeah, man. And, it's contagious,
and it really kind of was. It was low key back then. This is not that long ago, 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
People talk about that, and I found a way to, it was like a goat track, or I say like a bike ride on a country road, and if you saw another rider, it was like a welcome smile and wave. And some days I feel like it's the same bike I'm riding, but it's a busy damn highway. And so where that goes, it's guys like you that really give me that good spirit instead of the honking of horns and exhaust from fumes of cars. This is it's the edges of the box that give me joy, and this is an edge.
Well said.
You lads. So
I like it.
I was looking forward to this.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Me too.
Over to you, or talk sauna day real quick. You got a question or a thought or a topic for the group?
What was my question? Do you have a favorite moment in your sauna history?
Oh man, I'll have to. Let me do this. I'm going to process that question and try to chew gum and pedal at the same time. I really want to talk sauna.
Careful,
days.
don't do too
Sauna
much.
days, let's do it.
And maybe that could be the answer to the question. I don't know. Yeah, I would say this is a moment, and because I don't want to leave it hanging.
Yeah.
Okay, so in 2013, I built a sauna for a soul brother. Like this guy's, he's become one of my best friends, Tom Orlando and all that. I built 3 saunas for Tom, and he bought a property on the shores of Lake Superior, and on this cabin or house sat a 12 by 16 shed, literally on the rocks, like right there. And he's like, gee man, can you build me a sauna here? I'm thinking about buying this place. And he revealed to me later the only reason why he bought the property was the shed. That's how Tom and I clicked. Gee man, can you build a sauna here? And I go, shit, yeah, we can build a sauna. And Tom, he beats the same drum as me, like no permits, like, fuck this shit. So he closed on October 3rd. In the morning of October 4th at 10 a.m., I was up there meeting the Home Depot truck, hauling materials down the hill from Old Highway 61, working like a madman, hoping that no one would notice, and I squirreled away all the building materials. And anyway, I started on the build there, and it was a very zen build for me because I was alone, and it was a gorgeous fall. I mean, I was blessed with this October sunny skies and calm lake, and
like that.
And I would knock off work around 4, and my friend, he's an architect, Matt, he says, He says, at the end of your workday, quit like a good 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
And do you drink beer?
I do occasionally.
Occasionally. I mean, I drink a lot less now.
Yeah, I do too.
Imagine 32, whatever, however
Sure,
old I was.
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And so he says, crack a beer and celebrate your wins of the day and sweep up. You know,
I like that.
And I would do that.
Yeah.
And I found myself with a pen in hand, and I started journaling about the build without any intent to write my book. You know.
Yeah.
But what Tom shared with me a few days in, he says, you know, G-Man, he says, there's a resort right up the road there, and they have a wood-burning sauna, and there's hardly ever anybody in it. And I'm sure they wouldn't mind if you showed up. So I did. I went up to Larsmont Cottages, and I would quietly, you know, tiptoe, holding my shoes, go into the sauna there and sit on that bench and reflect on the build of the day and life, you know, for what's going on and stuff. And then... but I'd always pay it forward. I'd go into the lodge and usually have dinner there, or at least a beer, a follow-up beer or whatever. But on that bench, you asked the question, Josh. So I would say that was a seminal sauna experience for me, because I sat there and I said, wow, this is such a gorgeous place. It's a higher end resort, but it's built very classy and spread out over 1,000 feet of frontage on the world's largest freshwater lake. And it was right there that Sauna Days was born, because I said to myself, wouldn't it be badass if we had a bunch of us that dig this to come up at the same time?
I love that.
Well, and to watch it grow, you know, being on, I would say, I don't know, what year did you start it?
I don't know, man. I should figure this stuff out. But I know we're having the 8th or 9th annual.
Yeah.
So back that up. You know?
So this will be my 4th year coming up there, right?
Cool.
Yeah, so being a part of it and seeing it grow. Yeah. With Josh, you know, I think I'm excited mostly for this year, as Josh is going to bring this sauna that we built. And I want to touch on the whole thing of you taking that time at the end of the day and being on a lake by yourself. I had that experience this summer up on Thunder Lake in Reamer, Minnesota. And this family was just a fantastic family, the Fragerleys. And I was able to build this in it was an old resort. And this was a resort that they bought and built their own giant cabin, you know, and so where I ended up building this new sauna is...
Must be rough.
Yeah, I mean, they took it over, you know.
That's super cool.
It is, and they kept and I got to stay in one of the old cabins while I built this, right? Yeah. And so as I'm working by myself, you know, there was a trip I brought my son up there with me, and at 13, 14 years old, or he's 14 at the time, and we got to, you know, spend some time building the sauna, getting done, take a dip in the lake. You know, the Thunder Lake is a very cool lake, super special. Yeah. And, you know, taking that time and, you know, you said it really well, to be by yourself and reflect on what you got done during the day. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes during these projects, you hit this stretch where you got so much to do in so little time, right? Yeah. But then it's this, again, to be able to reflect on what you got done through the day. Yeah. Things are shaping up. You're starting to map things out, the final pieces. And it's inspiring to see what you got done through the day. Yeah. I had a great day. I got out here at sunrise and I'm going in at dusk, right?
I know there's a bunch listening that have built their own sauna, and maybe another bunch that are considering building their own sauna. And, you know, I always share that, well, first, there's many aphorisms that come into this. It's like, number one is the sauna build journey is never over, right? Like, I never really want to finish my own saunas and stuff like that. Like there's always more to do. There's some trim work here. There's some trim, but we're kind of giving birth to something. It isn't like a kitchen remodel that is intangible. Like but
you show me a contractor who doesn't have a piece of base shear on his house somewhere, right?
Right.
So, but I'll tell you, in that said, I love to see it come to this final place of like, I don't have one more piece of trim to put on.
True.
So that part for me, like, you know, coming
celebrating
to the end
milestones.
Yeah, right. And so speaking of Josh's sauna right now, particularly, it was, you know, it's been a little bit of a haul to get there. Yeah. And it's a unique build. We had some changing things in my life that brought the sauna from one place to another to, you know, getting this thing set on the side of this house, you know. Now me and Josh were laughing yesterday about pulling this out in the snow now, you know. So it's kind of, it's adding another layer.
Yeah.
But I do love putting that final nail in, and that's something, even in a remodel, it's also been very rewarding to me. But when you don't have a callback,
Yeah.
You know, and it's easier to hit these milestones.
So let's talk about a callback as it relates to this. This show is brought to you by Lampa Manufacturing, maker of the Kuma sauna. Okay, so friends of mine
Zero
say,
callbacks.
Right.
That's kind of the story where we're going, I suppose.
Well, you know, I just want to put a plug in there.
Yeah.
I am really contented with the heat, steam, and ventilation in this hot room, and the Jazz Trio of heat transfer.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. I mean, can you feel it?
Oh yeah.
The heat is all over.
I truly, I love things that are built well, and some would tell you I probably overbuild just about everything I do, but it's with intent, right? I want things to last. I want, when people talk, well, how long does the sauna last? Well, I'm like, shit, hopefully as long as your house does, you know? So it's like that kind of aspect to it. And I know damn well that this Kuma right here is going to stand the test of time. Yeah. And I'm very pleased with, just the rock scrubs. Okay, perfect story about this. I'm talking to Garrett from Lampa, and just a great man. And I sit there, I'm like, God, what about this radiant heat? How do you want to go about this? And he's like, I'm thinking like, well, how do we surround this thing in rocks? He goes, Leif, come out to the damn side, come outside and check this sauna out. Here he had manufactured. I got one of the first ones he ever did for the rocks at the side.
The Banya Surround.
And I thought, man, when two minds are just coming together, and you're putting something out there, and you put this energy out there, and he's already receiving this, and on his way there,
Thank you.
And I just love that about the man, about the company, and I think that this stove, I know it will stand the test of time.
With no callbacks.
No callbacks, that's right.
So Josh, your question, very well appreciated. That was a seminal sauna experience for me because it was the birthplace, the sauna days in a way, and having you guys up there, God, it just, so, they're all good. That my idea of a successful sauna event is, does everybody leave with a smile on their face? And I think on Sunday after our sauna days, there's a lot of hugs and smiles and stuff. But having you guys up there, God, this past year, I just kind of locked into how you guys roll, and I really appreciate it. So do you want to expand a little bit about do you want to step out and then we'll revisit? Let's try it. You were reciting poetry in the cold plunge out there. You spent a long time in the cold.
I have. I'm a natural when it comes to it.
You really
I started cold plunging when I was a junior in high school. I lived on a small lake, and we would use just a giant lead pipe to just bust holes.
You did that at back channel.
That's exactly how I did it at back channel too.
This hole. He's like, man, the fence post out there. I'm like, no shit. That's aggressive, man. You're doing it out there. So then I got
That's the caveman tool.
And then I got the medieval ice saw, which is
that is a great one. It works great, doesn't it?
I got to work out cutting this hole today.
Sure. But this is a fresh cut here?
Yeah, I just did that today,
No, thank you for doing that.
Heck yeah.
There's nothing like it. Savanto is the word, the Finnish word for a hole in the ice.
Savanto?
For swim, winter swim, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe it's psychological, but if the water was open and it was that temp, do you think it would be different than the water the same temp that is through a hole in the ice? I mean, is that temperature the same, or is there something going on metabolically, or is it just mental?
I think it's probably a lot of mental, but I'll tell you, getting into that, something about that Great Lake you were talking about earlier, okay? That sauna days. And Josh, when we went in there...
Oh, you could barely stay there 30 seconds.
Right? I mean, it was...
bone chilling.
We got in there, and having that water be active, and... I mean, the energy, I'm kind of feeling that right in this moment as we're talking about it, because that was an experience, and getting in there when it's not frozen and still hovering around 32, 33, 34 degrees, right? That's something to behold for sure.
Yeah, it could be mass. The mass, when you go in a cold, I kind of chuckle when you see these like Instagrammy guys, and they're macho in it, and their cold plunge tank, and then you look in the background and there's palm trees swaying, and I'm like, that ain't. I mean, cold is cold, but man, when we go up to the big lake of Vermilion or Lake Superior, sure, just a touch of birch. Thanks. Yeah, we're talking about essence that goes in the water.
I'm glad you brought this up. One of our last conversations, something about the manufactured cold plunge versus the fresh water in the lake, and I've been thinking about it a lot.
Yeah.
Because I do feel. I do feel better getting into a natural cold plunge.
I feel fantastic. That's for those listening. We're going to wrap this up pretty quick. We'll do some rapid fires and stuff like that. But this is now round 2, round 3,
round 3.
Round 3. Okay, and I walked. So I had my skis and stuff, and I walked up to the parking lot, and it's about 40 degrees. So this is just before Christmas time. We're in December, and we just came out of a cold snap of sub-zero Fahrenheit. We're talking minus 20 Celsius kind of thing. Yep. And I just felt great. Like the walk up there, my body's equalized, completely down to neutral, and now we come in and ride it up again.
Yep.
Feeling good?
Oh, I am feeling great. I noticed the temperature today was so nice as well after the huge cold snap that we had. And then my plunge that I had, the first one I did here today, it was that dream feeling experience where I was like, holy shit, I was just shot in the arm with something.
There was no negative, all positive.
Yeah, there was no, I could have sat in there for a long time.
I was feeling that
and
too.
It just felt really good.
Yeah, you guys were like, I'm telling you, you guys were like reciting poetry out there.
Something I find fascinating is being able to control your breathing.
Yeah.
But you can get in there and have a conversation and with your pal. And, I always compare it to when we're ice fishing, you go to bait a hook. We're bundled up and we had our structure or whatever. You go to bait a hook and you lose the dexterity in your fingers, you know? We're in here for 2 minutes or whatever amount of time we get out. Everything's functioning well, you're flowing and everything moves well. It's kind of it's quite an experience.
Well, I'm a little biased, but with sauna and cold plunge, to me, it's 1 + 1 = 3.
Yeah.
There's an exponential factor happening.
Definitely. There's something, I love sauna, right? I do love cold plunge. I don't really cold plunge on my own, like I sauna on my own. But there's something just magical about the opportunity to be able to do both together in contrast. Multiple rounds. I always tell people, don't just do it once, go back again, because your second experience, if it's your first time, it's going to be, you're not going to have that same level of anticipation. It's not going to be anxiety. It's going to be more of an excitement, and you're going to be able to embrace it better and truly get those benefits.
Well, and it's a practice, right? You work your way up to it, and Josh, we talked about this last year. So many of the people that came to our sauna experience at the brewery, I would say way more than half of them were like, there's no way I'm getting in that water. And by the time they were done with their session, they're like, okay, we're ready to try it, and it's telling them to slow down their breathing, get in and just, once you're able to control that, you're using, you're talking yourself out of things that you never would do.
There's a group dynamic benefit. People are more apt. And Leif, you were chatting on that when we were just off mic about when you were here doing this on your own. And it's 20 below and the wind is blowing. You sort of second guess your own. Where am I at in this moment?
Oh yeah. And it's always the 90%. Was I guess that famous podcaster Joe Rogan would say 90% is just showing up, right?
Yeah.
And so that discipline to do things you don't want to do or you're uncomfortable doing, it really builds a callus on the mind.
Yeah. So sauna days. Yeah. Anything more you guys want to talk about? I just was thinking about it today because I had a call with Larsmont Cottages, and I'm really jazzed. This is going to be the first weekend of May, 2026. It's usually the first weekend. It always is the first weekend of May. This will be the 8th or 9th annual. Okay. And it's going to sell out like it always does. And I'll tell you a funny story about this, and I'd love to just turn it over to you guys, but I'll tee the ball up. So like social media, like I don't know, maybe a few sauna days ago, I was kind of feeling like this is a political campaign. We have to, put all our marketing because we never know which is how we're gonna sell it out. Like much like a political candidate, you keep campaigning because you never know who the winning vote's gonna be, and that's typical marketing kind of mentality. But it all works out because up in 218, which is the area code for northern Minnesota, generally things are a little more chill, and it's got to be closer and closer to the event. And then I realized what a blessing in disguise that we don't market this thing too much, because the organic, who shows knows.
Yeah, I didn't even want to put anything on my own social media because I feel like honored to be there.
Sure.
And the organic growth of it is stronger than the marketable opportunity to grow it is. Yeah. I think it's just special.
Grassroots of it, right?
Exactly.
The grassroots of it, and it's just to touch on that. I think, remember we did the Harvey Martin thing this summer, Josh, and it was, he didn't do any social media to get us all there. And there's like 75 guys there, and a couple gals, and that was the most powerful breathwork session I have ever been a part of.
Yeah, it was wicked.
And it was very good.
I hosted a secret illegal brew fest one time. That's great. And we had five breweries, so it was us, and then it was 4 breweries from the surrounding states that were just really well known. Yeah. So we had Microphone from Chicago, we had Lua from Iowa, out of Des Moines. We had 1840 out of Milwaukee, and then we had Drecker from Fargo, and Drecker's worldwide.
Sure,
right?
yeah.
And the Drecker, Jesse, when he arrived, he goes to me, hey, I was looking in your social media to try to find out directions, and did you not promote this at all? And I go, no, I didn't tell anybody about it. He goes, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a pull in that direction.
Yeah, totally.
And it's really remarkable. So our youngest son, he's 26. He's off social media 100%.
Good for him.
Eliminated the whole thing, done with it. And it's been a month or whatever, and I see it in him, and he will acknowledge. He goes, oh my gosh, I am so happy.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah. Because of your business?
Yeah, my business, and then just creating awareness of the things that I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to do, I want to bring to sauna days, because what Leif didn't mention about this sauna build is that in the changing room, the 2 windows open outwards, and then we're going to be able to morph it into a DJ booth and create this one-of-a-kind experience where not only you're connecting on the bench in the sauna sweating out, but you're connecting through movement and just dance.
The dance, right? Dance. This is going to be quite unique. Creating those opening windows has presented a little bit of a challenge for me, but it was, I told Josh I felt like I was a window manufacturer when I was building this, because creating, like reverse engineering a window, like we, like we talked about with Shear Brothers making windows back in the day, right? It's all inlet into the cedar, routed out, and they're going to be sweet. It's going to be a cool experience to see this in action.
Well, I alluded earlier to, change, change never happens in the box. And out of the box is usually too out there for most people to accept change. But along the edges of the box is where change happens and can happen. And I think, this vision that you're bringing forward is an example of that.
Yeah, I mean, I want to bring people together through just this whole wellness experience, but sauna is the anchor of that.
Yeah.
Right? And then with sauna, that allows you to have connection. And then with this mobile sauna that Leif's building, it's going to be so much more. It's going to be movement. It's going to be all of the things that we need in our lives. It's going to be outside. It's nature, right? It's not something I'm going to park in a basement. Yeah. So it's going to be this this mobile venue in a sense.
Let's be honest, it's the new party sauna.
It's the new party sauna. I get to take the moniker from you.
I know, buddy. I gladly pass the torch to the new party sauna.
Yeah. What do you think? So it's funny. One of the early rapid fire questions I'd ask guests on the podcast is, what do you think about? What do you think is most misunderstood about sauna that you'd like others to know? And it's become sauna. This thing we do has become so commonplace that maybe that question is a little bit out of date, because this thing was fringe for a long time. But maybe it still has some relevance. I'll start with you, Leif. What your experience with this? What are you in taking phone calls? Maybe people looking for a build, or people coming to Butts on the Bench. What's the first thing that comes to mind that you think is most misunderstood?
Well, for one, John Savis actually brought this, and I just said to Josh, there's no competition here. However long your body takes to heat up, we're all different. And this is a time where we don't need to be in competition about how long we're in here, who stays here, who's up on the bench, who's on the lower bench. It's just whatever makes your body feel right. And we're all different in that, you know? And we all have different experiences through it.
Same question.
For me, I guess what I want to help change is this stigma that, you know, after you finish the sauna, you got to go home and shower and get all cleaned up, right? Like, you don't need to do that. You can go in the sauna and be refreshed and just have, you know, dry clothes to change in, get a poncho towel to change in.
Beautiful.
Make it your own little space, and then be about your way, because there's going to be, as far as, you know, I think that saunas are in so many great locations that you don't want to just come to the sauna and do something else. Come to the sauna and embrace the surrounding experience, like you just did here, Lake Ann. You know, you just cross country skied. Over at Back Channel, you can come into the brewery, and you don't need to have beer. You can have an NA, but you can consume conversation after you just consumed, you know, wellness for your body. So
the real brass tacks is: have you ever felt more clean than after 3-4 sauna rounds and 3-4 cold plunges?
Oh, absolutely. I forget to shower. I go home and I don't even think. It doesn't even register,
right?
Yeah, it doesn't even register. I don't even think about it.
Well, at our cabin, we built that in 1996, and I have yet to step foot into the shower in our cabin. And I'm proud of that. I used to be a little shy about that, but you know, you never get more clean than after 3-4 sauna.
No, and at the end of the day, you're quite honestly purifying your body. You know, you're cleaning out your pores.
Flushing.
Yeah, that's a great point, Josh.
Really well done. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Well another rapid fire question, and this is a fun one, you know. So it's a sauna day. We knew today when we were going to wake up that we'd be communing here on the bench and cold plunge stuff. So when you think about a sauna day, from the moment you wake up to even later tonight when you guys go to bed, and that, you know, generally speaking, if you had to distill a moment that sticks out as sauna nirvana, like what's the first that comes to mind for you through the whole process, the planning, the doing, the rounds, the going to bed at night?
I like being in the meat and bones of it right now. You know,
which round?
We're talking like
maybe. I'm just throwing.
I'm a third round guy. You know, going for the hat trick. I love barriers are broken down by that point. You know, you don't have any stiffs up in here; they're already loosened up. Yeah. So if someone's not, accustomed to sauna culture, they're going to be by that third round.
Sure. Yeah. Leif, over to you.
In thinking about today, these are quite honestly two of my favorite people to be around, and they believe in me. That's very rewarding to me, and so to spend this time on the bench, just getting comfy, letting loose, sweating together, is a very powerful thing for me, and I will sleep like a baby tonight.
So what moment from when you woke up to when you sleep?
Really, getting the chance. I'm working on Josh's sauna now, as we've talked about, and going, hey, I got to get there about 3 o'clock, get this fire going. Yeah. The prep work, thinking about cutting the hole. Yeah. And all that to make it a good experience for my pals, I love that. I think that it's important to me. Yeah. And to share this space, and something I've built it's different than, I can, compare it to building this fancy kitchen where we're all going to share a meal, right?
Yeah, good answer.
And, this is a space where we just come together, we sweat, we're vulnerable,
So thank you. This is a mobile sauna, and I'm going to throw one more question, and I'd love for you guys to ask one. I'm in that mood. I don't want to be autocratic with the microphone. So I'm going to ask one question, and I'd love for you guys just to share a thought or ask me a question back, not about me specifically, whatever you want to do. So, but I'll tee this off. One last question is, we're in a mobile sauna right now, and it's a twofold question. If you could have a mobile sauna and bring it anywhere in the world, where's the first place that comes to mind? And as you process that question, well, I'll start with that. Josh, anywhere in the world.
I'm taking my sauna to Arizona. I'm going to take my YouTube program on the road, and I'm going to cruise by the Grand Canyon and have a fucking sauna right next to the Grand Canyon.
Leif?
For me, it's getting back to where I spent a lot of time in my early 20s skiing, building custom homes, Lake Tahoe.
Love it.
I'd love to pull this thing up just like I did a 8x12 or 6x12 U-Haul trailer back in 2000. And instead, I picture my sauna and taking a swim in that beautiful lake.
Oh, such a great lake for sauna. So staying with you, Leif, now, this is anybody in the world, dead or alive, past, present, staying with this vision. You're there right at the shoreline of Lake Tahoe. Who would you like to share the bench with? Who's the first person that comes to mind?
You know, it would be Jerry Garcia for me.
Fantastic. Over to you.
Oh wow, this is an intense question. Like alive or dead? I mean, I was thinking
Anybody
alive that I could call up. Oh man.
There you are out there looking out over the Grand Canyon. Who's the first person?
I could have a sauna with Laird Hamilton.
Fantastic. Great answers, folks. Great answers. Well, I'm a low bench Larry down here right now, but I would like to keep this rolling, and with one final go around. What's on your mind, each of you guys? Something that we may not have covered, something you'd like listeners, to be aware of in your life, or something you want to ask the two of us? Does anybody want to take us out?
I guess I consider myself a true sauna ambassador, and I'm just really excited to step into my role a little bit more. I've been doing a lot of work on the side for quite some time, and with time and experience, I was able to make a decision that I wanted a mobile sauna. I wanted to create experiences elsewhere. I wanted Leif to build the sauna for me, and we're almost there. So if you're looking for unique sauna experiences, definitely keep your eye on what I'm doing, because that's my bread and butter.
And how can people find you, Josh?
You can find me on Instagram as Leddy Josh, Leddy Josh. On Facebook as Josh Leddy, but on YouTube, my YouTube channel is Get Sweaty with Leddy. So please subscribe, like the stuff, help me get to a point where more people can see what I'm trying to do, because I'm really excited about it. I think it's got a great place in the sauna world.
Thank you.
Question for both of you. As we sit here, what brings all the gratitude to you at this point of your lives?
All right, so what I'm most grateful for right now is actually to be on just like the total same page with my wife on this journey that we're on, because we've worked together for over a decade now, and our work is continuing to evolve. We're continuing to learn about each other and learn what we love, and it's all culminating into this just perfect crescendo right now.
Beautiful. It's nice to do it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good
partnership. That's what it's all about.
I'd say connection, I guess, is a word that comes to mind, and I think about it in visual terms of an outer ring is the people that are listening to the show that connect with me, and my sauna building book has connected me with great people. My consults, builders, connecting through sauna. I got that outer ring, and then an inner ring are deep friendships that I have that I've been able to nurture, and that connection is wonderful. And then this little inner ring, my family's doing well. Julia, we've been married 30-something years, and much to your point, Josh, it's nice to have a like mind and do things with someone else, and our two boys are doing great, Grant and Nate. So that's the inner ring, right? And connection with myself is the core,
Sure,
and I really feel good now. I wasn't connected with myself, and those listening, I'll put a little thought in mind is like what is your operating system? And I've really distilled one for myself, and I could share it if you're interested. It'll be really brief, but it's an acronym, FENS, F-E-N-S, and it's the top is freedom. That's really what it's about for me. Freedom is my operating system, and supporting that is ENS, like enoughness, nature, simplicity. Those are the supporting mechanisms for my operating system.
I love that.
And that works for me.
It's well said.
Yeah, and I found it. It's a journey, right, to find your own operating system. But that's a connection I have with myself, and it really gives me some nice clarity through the days.
That's good. I love it. I love that. Well said.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's good. It's nice to connect with you boys.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this was great.
It's great Sauna Talk.
Jumped at the opportunity, you know.
Yeah.
Found out about
It's super fun.
just a couple days ago, and it's like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Move some things around. We're gonna make this happen.
And Leif, how can folks find you? We heard about Josh's connections and with his how people can reach him. How can people find you, Leif?
Well, we're on Instagram, Excelsior Saunas. We have a Facebook account as well, so find us there. We're moving around the metro area here.
And come to Sauna Days, because I'm going to hang with you boys by the fire.
That'll be
same
great.
fire pit.
Looking forward to it again. Yeah, yeah. We actually got to get on our place.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Thanks for listening, folks, and take us out. Final words for those listening. Sauna. Last thoughts for sauna, Josh.
Oh man. Sauna. I mean, 'tis the season. That's all I gotta say. I'm embracing every single opportunity I get to go in the sauna. All the different saunas, all the different people. That's what I'm just most looking forward to right now, as part of the season.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Sauna Talk podcast. For even more content and discussion of all things sauna, visit saunatimes.com. That's where you'll find articles, resources, and the stories that keep the sauna culture moving forward. You can also connect with me, Glenn Auerbach, on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Substack. If you're interested in live events, workshops, or local and regional sauna circuits, you'll find those details on the website as well. Finally, if you represent a brand aligned with authentic sauna culture and would like to explore partnership or sponsorship opportunities, I'd love to connect. Reach out through saunatimes.com and let's start the conversation. Thanks again for listening. Until next time, I'll see you on the bench.